My name is Kathy Forsyth, and I'm an Independent Senior Sales Director with Mary Kay. I want to first of all thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Your consultant may have bribed you with free product or promised you something special just to learn a little bit more about our business opportunity. First of all, my journey began about 20 years ago, and if you would have told me then that I would choose to walk away from my corporate job to pursue a career peddling cosmetics, I would have said you were crazy. I was working full-time for an insurance company, loved my job, was very happy with my life, was expecting my first child, and my husband and I had just purchased our first home. A girlfriend of mine invited me to go to a fashion show. Who wouldn't want to go to a fashion show? I didn't know anything about what it was she was taking me to. I just knew that I liked her and that a fashion show sounded like fun. So we arrived at this event, and the first thing that I observed was that the parking lot was filled with pink Cadillacs. I had never seen a bunch of pink Cadillacs before and really didn't identify with the fact that this was a reward system that their Salesforce members had achieved. I just figured they all loved pink and decided to paint their cars that color. So I walked into this event, and the thing that I really noticed was just how warm and welcoming everyone was. They liked each other, which was vastly different from the work environment that I was accustomed to at my corporate job. So throughout this evening, what I learned is that the Mary Kay sales director in the Portland area had coordinated this event with a local dress shop. So all of the models were wearing Mary Kay products. The clothing was on trend. It was fashion forward. The event was fun. There were product giveaways, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had no idea that my girlfriend was trying to recruit me, and as we were driving home, she dropped me off, thanked me for coming, and I went in the house and just Mary Kay'd all over my husband Jeff. I told him all about the event, how warm and welcoming the women were, the amount of money they were making, the freedom and flexibility that they proclaimed to have, and a lot of different aspects that I felt were missing in my corporate environment. So needless to say, he said, well, maybe you should talk to her and see if they would be willing to accept you into their organization. Maybe they're hiring. I didn't know how the process worked, even though I had just sat through an event where they had shared a lot of detailed information. So I called my girlfriend and said, hey, do you think this is something that I could become a part of? And she said, I'll be right over. So the next day she came over, gave me some more company facts and information, and I ordered my starter kit. Now, as I had shared, I was actually pregnant with my first child, so the idea of doing something full-time with Mary Kay wasn't necessarily appealing. I had a career, so I thought, well, this will be just something fun that I can do on the side to maybe earn a little bit of extra cash. So I started my journey, held a few parties, had a lot of fun with them, and then gave birth to our first child, which of course rocked our world. Our lives were forever adjusted, and I just assumed, because society kind of programmed me this way, that I would return back to my full-time job and put my new child into full-time childcare. So that is kind of where things were standing at that point in time. Had some challenges with childcare and was very frustrated. Felt like I was missing out on my baby's life. I cried more times than I can tell you going back to that full-time job, but I just thought that that was what normal people did. So fast forward about 4.5 years later, we had had another child in that process, and lo and behold, we discovered that we were actually expecting our third child. Wasn't part of our plan. We had just built a new custom home at this point in time with a nice custom house payment. It required both of our incomes to qualify for the loan, and the idea of having 3 small children, ages 4, 2, and a newborn, in full-time childcare was financially devastating. It was going to cost about $2,000 a month for me to return back to work at my full-time job. Now, I had received a promotion in the meantime. It was a great job. I was paid very well, and I actually really liked what I did, but when you're kind of balancing out your options and considering that it would cost about $24,000 a year for me to pay someone else to raise my kids while I was gone to work 60 hours a week, it just didn't really add up and make sense. So my husband and I explored all of our options. I thought about getting a second job. He looked at getting a second job, and weighing out all the costs, it would just take us further away from being a family unit and having the desired lifestyle that we wanted to. But for me to quit working full time and give up that income would then require us to eliminate the new home that we had just built and downsize, putting us in a completely different lifestyle arrangement than what was ideal. So it was actually my husband's idea. He said, you know, that little Mary Kay thing that you've had on the side, other people have been able to earn a full-time income with that. Maybe if you go to those training classes, you can make enough money with it that you could work from home and walk away from corporate America. So I thought, what if I got to lose? I'll give it a try. So over the course of the next 3 months, while working 60 hours a week, my day looked like this. I got up and left my home by 6 o'clock in the morning so I could drop my kids off at full-time childcare. I went to work, got off work somewhere around 4:30 or 5, drove to daycare, picked my 2 small children up while I'm pregnant, drove home, made dinner, and then would either make phone calls or maybe go hold an appointment in the evening time. So this went on for about 3 months. 3 months of concentrated activity of just doing a little bit of Mary Kay in the evenings and sometimes on the weekends. I earned my first free company car. Now, mind you, I was working as a salesperson with a large insurance carrier, putting a lot of miles on my own personal vehicle. And it was very, very appealing to have the idea of a free company car. Most of the licensing, registration, and all of the insurance was taken care of, so it was truly a free vehicle. I was surprised how simple it was once I just went into action. 4 months later, I actually matched my take-home pay from my full-time job and was able to leave my full-time job and care for my young children from home while still contributing financially to support our household. So you never know. This might be a plan B for you. Maybe it's a plan A. Maybe you just aren't sure where you want to go, or maybe you just want a little bit of extra money on the side. So what was it that they shared at that event that really caused me to take a closer look at Mary Kay? And what did it take for me to go from working a full-time job to doing Mary Kay on a full-time basis, which is a lot fewer hours full-time in Mary Kay than it was in my corporate job, that allowed me the freedom and flexibility to work from home while still contributing to a nice financial budget for our household. First of all, the money. Mary Kay consultants are all paid on the same playing field. This is not a multi-level company. Every single person who comes into this business earns a 50% commission on the sale of the product. Bottom line, every consultant purchases the product at the wholesale price directly from Mary Kay. Then they sell it to the ultimate consumer at the full retail price. The difference between the retail and the wholesale value is the profit that you get to keep. So the number of appointments that you hold will definitely drive the income potential that's there and available to you. You can work as much or as little as you want to, but what I can tell you is that if you're really working to develop a full-time income, you will want to be working somewhere around 15 to 20 hours away from home per week in order to develop a customer base. And what I recommend to those who are truly interested in this is to focus on developing a customer base of about 100 skincare clients. People who utilize our skincare reorder it consistently. You see, it's a consumable product. So as people use it up, if you take good care of them and provide a good level of customer service, they will continue to come back and reorder from you. Because Mary Kay Cosmetics does not sell direct to the consumer. Every person must go through an independent beauty consultant. So that's how we earn our income. There are other levels of income if you choose to share your business and develop a team of women. Mary Kay rewards you anywhere from 4 to 13% commission based on the productivity of your team. And that does not come from your team members' commissions. Your team members are still earning their 50%, and then once a month, Mary Kay sends a love check to you based on their productivity and orders that go into the company. So that's how your income can begin begin to compound. So that's the money facet. My highest income that I've had for 1 month in Mary Kay is in excess of $10,000. Over the course of the last 15 years, this amazing company has rewarded me with 9 free company cars. Just imagine never having to make a car payment, never having to pay for insurance, never having to buy new tires for your vehicle or do any major maintenance. Every 2 years you can requalify for a free new company car, unless of course you earn an upgrade in the process. They will of course give that to you. I had 1 year that I actually earned 3 different company cars within that time frame because we continue to upgrade. So that's very exciting to have that option. Talk about recognition. When I was working in my corporate job, it was very rare that anyone would give me a pat on the back and tell me, hey, you're doing a great job. We appreciate you. No, what it looked like instead was once a year we had our annual review. And based on the feedback from your boss, you would then be notified if you qualified to receive a 2 to 3% pay increase, or if they were just going to keep you at the same pay grade. And you should feel fortunate that you still had a job. That's how things worked for me in corporate America. In Mary Kay, you can actually earn a step up the career ladder or give yourself a promotion whenever you choose to do so. And the recognition that goes along with that is done on a small scale at our weekly success events or on the larger scale at our corporate events down in Dallas, Texas. Once a year, we have the benefit of getting to travel to Mary Kay Corporate and have an event down in Dallas called Seminar. At Seminar, they reward their Salesforce members for a job well done. They give away things like diamond rings, world-class vacations, keys to company cars, and they don't just hand them to you or pop them in the mail. No, they invite you to wear the most beautiful dress that you can find, and they parade you in front of an entire audience of your peers, talking about how amazing you are and how you deserve to be there. It's truly an experience like none other, and talk about boosting your self-confidence. It's amazing. The personal growth that I've sustained while being in this company has been truly profound. You see, 20 years ago, when I started college, I actually dropped out of my college speech class because I was terrified to speak in front of a group of people. But Mary Kay helped to develop the confidence for me to overcome something that I was very fearful of. Public speaking is one of the number one fears of most Americans, and it's something that can be learned though. Ironically, the last sales position that I held with my corporate job, I landed the job at my final interview because, remember, I dropped out of my college speech class. I was terrified to speak in front of a group of people, but I had to give a 15-minute presentation on any topic of my choice. So the morning of my interview, I actually took my Mary Kay flip chart, some trays and mirrors, and did a Mary Kay skincare class before a panel of 6 men. I was not their prime candidate going into the final interviews. There were 3 of us. They thought they were going to hire someone else. But based on the presentation that I had given to them, they hired me for the job. And I thought that that was truly, truly amazing. So again, a skill that I did not have, I was able to acquire just by doing little appointments along the way, and my confidence grew and developed. And I've had the pleasure of getting to speak in front of large audiences at Mary Kay corporate functions to help train, educate, and motivate other people. And I find that very inspiring because as a child, I wanted to be a teacher. So now I have the benefit of being able to teach other women how to be successful with this business. I also have the benefit of being able to teach people how to take good care of their skin. And I'm rewarded handsomely in the process. I've talked about the company cars. However, the tax advantages are truly another benefit that I've come to appreciate. You see, when you work for yourself, you have the advantage of being able to write off a lot of legitimate expenses that you're already paying for. I can write off my cell phone bill. I can write off my internet service. These are legitimate expenses that are necessary for me to run my business. So we actually take you through a tax preparation class that has been endorsed by the IRS to tell you what you can write off and what you can't write off. But a lot of expenses that you have right there can now become tax deductible. When you work for a corporation, they get the tax breaks. When you work for yourself, you get the tax breaks. So that means a larger portion of your income you can then keep. Also, being your own boss. I love the fact that my husband and I have the freedom and flexibility to design our own work schedules. And 8 years ago, my husband was able to walk away from a job that he didn't love anymore and start his own business from home as well. This has given us the opportunity to team parent our kids. And now on the tail end of that, I've got one that's graduated high school and is in college, one that will be a senior next year, one that will be entering her sophomore year next year. And I'll tell you, it means a lot to be present in the moment. Instead of going to my boss at my corporate job and saying, hey, I want to take this week of vacation off, or I need this day off. Can we factor that in? Who's already requested it? Do I have enough vacation time that you'll allow me to take the time off? Instead now, my husband and I can take a look at our calendars, decide what's going to work best for our family, and create our own work schedules. No more of someone else telling me what time to start work, what time to end work, when I can take lunch, how long that lunch can be, and so on. It's complete and total freedom and flexibility at its finest. No one will ever be a better boss to you than you, and it's truly a freeing experience. Those are some of the details that I learned about at that first event that I went to. Now, what you may be asking yourself is, how much is it going to cost for me to become a part of this amazing company? Well, it does cost $100 to purchase a starter kit, and in that starter kit, you receive over $400 worth of retail valued product. Those products are not designed for you to sell, they're designed for you to give women the opportunity to try before they make a purchase. We're not into high pressure sales. You don't have to have a sales background to succeed. In fact, we prefer that you don't, because what we have found is that pushy people do not do well in Mary Kay. We will teach you how to coach women, how to take care of their skin, teach them about the different products that are there so that they can get the results that the products are designed to offer. And then it creates an environment for them to shop. Women love to shop, but they hate to be sold to. Maybe you're thinking, I just don't have enough time. I just don't have enough time in my schedule to make this work. Well, I can relate to that. Think back to what I shared with you earlier. I was gone from home from 6 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the evening at my corporate job. And what I knew is that that wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted to live indefinitely. If you desire something different, you have to be willing to do something different. And is it worthwhile to you for the short term to do something a little bit extra that will give you the long-term results of freedom and total flexibility, along with unlimited earning potential that may be there and available to you? It may be worth it. Maybe you're thinking, I just don't know enough people. Well, what I can tell you is that your family and friends typically have two questions for you. What's my discount, and what can I get for free? Everybody wants a good deal. And you might even be thinking about people in your circle of influence. My husband's a mechanic, so of course family and friends come to him to seek his advice, help with their car maintenance issues, and they want a special deal. You know, he's a good friend or a family member, so of course they expect that. So the same will hold true in your Mary Kay business. What we recommend is that you practice on those people first, and then we'll teach you how to meet legitimate customers and go from there. But you can practice on your family and friends because they love you and they know that you're not going to have all the information right out of the gate, and you're going to use them as practice guinea pigs so they can help you to succeed and be your support system along the way. Maybe you're thinking it's just not the right time. Well, one thing that I have learned is most people are going to be in one of three situations in life. They're either going to be at the beginning of a crisis, in the middle of a crisis, or finishing up an existing crisis. So there's never going to be a perfect time to start something new. What are you waiting for? This isn't rocket science. This is a matter for you to see if it's something fun that may help benefit your life, earn some extra money, or take you on a career journey that gives unlimited potential and opportunities. So amazing things are in store for you. But if you want the big rewards that are available in this business, you do need to be willing to work for it. So as I mentioned, it costs $100 to get started. Your consultant can send you an online link to order your starter kit. And just know I will pop out of that box because I will be your coach and mentor to help guide you every step of the way. So thank you again so much for being willing to listen to our message today. There is a keyword that we ask that you give to your consultant so that she knows that you listened all the way to the end, and that word is integrity. The reason why is we are looking for women of integrity that do what they say they're going to do and follow through. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this message, that just might be you. Also, we like to evaluate your interest level on a scale of 1 to 10 based on what you've heard today. A 1 would mean I'd rather be running naked in a snowstorm in Alaska and eating dirt than ever do Mary Kay. That's a 1. That may be you. If that is you, we will never ask you or give you the opportunity to become a part of our company again. We understand that it's just not your thing. Maybe you're closer to the 10 on the scale of 1 to 10. A 10 would mean, you know what, I never thought this would be something that I would consider for myself, but why not? What if I got to lose? It's $100. I can go to Costco and drop that in a day and a week later not even know what I bought. So it's a $100 investment for you to see what you could potentially do with this amazing career opportunity. So on that scale of 1 to 10, you can choose any number on that scale to share with your consultant. I only ask that you don't say a 5, because a 5 means that you are kind of on the fence, and we don't quite know if you have a higher interest level or a lower interest level. And it is possible you may have more questions. We encourage those questions and look forward to the opportunity to answer those for you. Well, once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule today and for giving me the opportunity to share with you something I'm very passionate about. I believe everyone deserves to have the opportunity to experience at least 1 year in Mary Kay, because it's kind of like spending a year in business school. I have a college degree, I have a business degree, so what I can tell you is I actually learned so much throughout my journey over the first year in Mary Kay that was equivalent to what I've learned over an entire 4-year span in pursuing my college education. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to the opportunity to get to meet you in person.